Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, the reveal date for Battlefield 6 might be firming up, Rainbow Six Siege set a new player record, Hell Let Loose is getting a major update, and much more. GamesBeat editor Jeff Grubb says Battlefield 6 will be revealed in May. He said this during a live stream on his YouTube channel in response to a viewer asking about the game. Speculation based on past Battlefield reveals suggests Battlefield 6 will be revealed in May, but Grubb's comment sounds more like insider info. He says that while things are still fluid, his understanding is that DICE are probably looking at May for the reveal. Recently, EA announced Need for Speed Dev's criterion were put on Battlefield 6 to help DICE stay on track. The game is currently ahead of schedule, and a reveal trailer is in production, and DICE LA are producing live service content. As for gameplay info, all we know is that Battlefield 6 will be unprecedented in scale, it features enhanced destruction, and makes full use of next-gen console hardware. Based on non-confirmed rumors, I believe it'll be a modern military game with 128 player modes and potentially a Firestorm version 2 Battle Royale. Even then, all of that is based on unconfirmed information. Anything is truly possible. EA have an investor call scheduled for May 11th. We'll probably get the reveal trailer for Battlefield 6 around then. Battlefield 5 was revealed on May 23rd, 2018. The investor call for that quarter was on the 8th. So my guess is that we'll be getting the Battlefield 6 reveal trailer on May 21st or the 28th this year. And that's assuming that the game doesn't actually get delayed though. Despite being ahead of schedule, EA or DICE could decide to push the game back a bit to ramp up post-launch support or polish the game further. The big question is, will Battlefield 6 actually be polished on release? It's been a trend of DICE to release broken games and slowly improve them over time. Given how much of a disaster Battlefield 5's launch was, it's tough to say if players will stick around for another buggy Battlefield game. Battlefield 5 did end on a high note with the Pacific content update, but that still doesn't shake the game's tarnished reputation. DICE has a lot to prove with Battlefield 6, and it feels like if they don't, it could have sweeping consequences for the entire franchise. Rainbow Six Siege set a new concurrent player record on Steam of 200,000 users. While its new record is only about 2,000 users higher than its previous high from March 2020, it's still very impressive for a game from 2015. Plus, Steam's player base is also just a fraction of Siege's total player base. While Steam accounts for many players, Ubisoft doesn't publish how many players use Ubisoft Connect or play on console, so it's likely the combined player count across all platforms is above 500,000 players. The closed beta for Rainbow Six Parasite went live this weekend. The game is a standalone version of the Outbreak mode from Siege a few years ago. It's a co-op shooter that takes the operators from Siege and throws them into a Left 4 Dead style experience. Despite being under strict NDA, some beta testers have uploaded their gameplay. From the footage, we've learned a few key details. The available operators include Alibi, Lion, Vigil, Ella, Finka, and Tachanka. They all retain their abilities from Siege. Each operator has access to specific weapons and attachments. The available gadgets include a recon drone, body armor, and ammo satchel. Tactical items include the stun grenade, nitro cell, and a scan grenade. The gameplay sounds like it's carbon copied from Outbreak. Enemies are primarily alien-like parasitic zombies. Killing certain enemies will alert others, so stealth is an important tactic. Each mission will have specific objectives players need to complete to continue. Between zones, players can rearm at safe points. Overall, it sounds like Parasite will be very familiar to Siege players. How much Ubisoft have expanded upon the original Outbreak mode remains to be seen. All of this info comes from an incomplete closed beta, so it's likely the full game will be much broader in scope. Update 9 for World War II FPS Hell Let Loose launches tomorrow, and it is a massive update. It adds melee combat, proper weapon zeroing, community voiceovers, barbed wire functionality, the MG34 machine gun, sound improvements, UI changes, more optimization, a weapon quality overhaul, and much more. The only thing missing from the update is a significant content drop like a new map, but the game already has plenty of maps to choose from, and more are on the way in future updates. The developers recently announced that Hell Let Loose is coming to next-gen consoles. A different team of developers is handling the console port. There will be cross-play between PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series versions, but not with PC. The console ports are launching later this year. Of course, the concern with that is optimization. Hell Let Loose runs way better today than it did a few months ago, but it's still not in a great place. If it's going to be a solid experience on consoles, the devs really need to do a lot. This is a key goal for the port, so they are aware of the problem and are are working to solve it. Activision pulled a weapon skin from Warzone because users are reporting some pretty major bugs with it. The Mastercraft Ice Drake skin for the Krig 6 turns the gun into an actual dragon. And while this looks cool, users reported issues like the barrel disappearing or the gun being invisible with the skin equipped. Activision pulled the skin from the game store while they fixed these bugs. A new report claims Sony are shutting down the PlayStation 3, PS Vita, and PSP stores permanently starting on July 2nd. These stores have been online since 2006. While the PlayStation 3 store was very popular, the PSP and Vita both underperformed. Sony stopped developing games and new hardware for their mobile devices back in 2019, but they have maintained their storefront since then. Probably the biggest blow coming with this rumored shutdown is that the PS1 Classics library will go offline with these shutdowns. Considering that's the only way to officially play those titles on the current gen hardware, it kinda sucks for anyone looking to play some retro titles. Game preservation group The Hidden Palace worked together with the Internet Archive to release over 700 PlayStation 2 prototypes and demos. That's 860 gigabytes of games that would potentially be lost to time otherwise. And while many of the titles were previously available, collecting them all in one package ensures gamers can easily preserve them. On top of that, all of the included titles should be playable with a modern emulator or hardware capable of playing burned games. Some of these special builds include E3 prototypes of Crash Bandicoot, Shadow of the Colossus, God Hand, and Legacy of Kain. A new trailer for the upcoming post-apocalyptic shooter Atomic Heart showcases the game's photo mode. It starts with a super close shot of a character's face and slowly pans out to reveal a massive open world area. Atomic Heart doesn't have a firm release date, and gameplay trailers have trickled out very slowly over the past couple of years, but they all look impressive. This new trailer is our first real look at one of the game's exterior environments, and it's absolutely massive. Before we get to today's final story, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're always interested to hear about the stories that you like, so if there's something we missed today that you want to hear about, leave it in the comments below. Team 17 are publishing the upcoming tactical FPS Ready or Not. The game recently had a closed technical test on Steam. While the reviews were very mixed, the game shows a lot of promise and isn't due to hit early access until June. Partnering with Team 17 for publishing the game should also provide the devs with access to better funding and resources. Team 17 is a big name on the indie game scene. They've published hits like Blasphemous, Golf with Your Friends, Hell Let Loose, and the Worms franchise. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.